Novocaine is an action comedy that is out in theaters, and it stars Jack Quaid as the titular Novocaine. Now, that's not his actual name, that's his nickname in the movie. His real name is Nathan Kane, and he is an assistant bank manager. And what happens is that there's a robbery that happens, and he decides to pursue the robbers. Now, the reason why he does this is a very sweet reason. It's the emotional core of the entire thing. But what makes it, a comedy is that he's kind of this everyday type of person, except for one thing. He does not feel pain. Now, does that mean he's not affected by pain, right? If someone shoots him, if he breaks a leg, all that stuff, he does bleed, he can die. He is affected by this, he just doesn't feel it, right? And that the way the movie introduces this is very hilarious because he's kind of a cautious guy, because he has to be if let's say he steps on a nail and he doesn't feel it and he starts bleeding out, then obviously that's not good. He could bleed out and die without ever knowing it, right? So there's that juxtaposition of all of this in terms of his life. And so now he has this unique ability to take on the robbers, because he doesn't feel any punches or anything like that. And yet, of course, obviously, there's the very real danger that he could die. And I appreciate that, as much as it can be in this sort of silly premise, that groundedness of it all. And this is a movie that is very comedic, but it also leans into sort of the body, not horror of it all, but the gruesome nature of, what Nathan is able to take as a character, right? Getting his hand burnt or, sharp objects going through him or, all this stuff. You kind of, I shied away. I was like, ooh, and it's all part of it. And it's a very inventive movie of how they utilize this conceit, if you will, this, condition of his. And I really, really appreciated that. It's so much fun. And again, because he's that sort of everyday character, the more he goes outside of his element, the more fun it is. And oftentimes, when you get movies like this, it's like the main character, they have this past of being a badass, but they've stepped away from that life. Not here. He does not have a past of badassery whatsoever. He is that, quiet, kind of shy person, and that really works in its favor. It's so honestly believable, and he does such a good job with it. The cast that rounds it out is fantastic, and there's various twists and turns that happen throughout that are really fun, right? So I think this is, with a crowd, a true movie that, we don't get often these days, and I appreciate it that it is a communal experience in the theater, that we were, and we were really rooting for, our boy. And it doesn't overstay its welcome. You're kind of on the edge of your seat. I mean, there is setup to this, right? So you get his life initially in terms of, what his day-to-day life is like. And I think they dole out the various expos that you need to get about his life in a very interesting way. And then once you're in the bank robbery, not that you're going 100 miles an hour, but you're going, right, for sure. And, I think it blends the two really well with that switch up. Watching the trailer, I thought that it would be more like medically induced, that he can't feel pain, but it's actually just part of his actual condition. There are certain things that he utilizes, again, that I won't spoil, to help him out and stuff like that, and they kind of put that in the trailer. So I thought he was much more of a kind of weirdo, superhuman type of person, a la Captain America, where, Captain America takes a serum. I thought maybe it was something like that. It is not, and I appreciated it all the more for that. So if anything that I've talked about is of interest, go check it out. Again, listen, there's movies you can see in the theater, you can wait for them to come out, enjoy with your friends and stuff like that. This movie, yes, you can definitely have a good time with on your couch with a group of friends or by yourself, but in rare instances, I say, hey, go out into the theater and experience it. And this is one of those movies that I think you will truly enjoy, that experience of, just people being together, not knowing, what's going to come around the corner, and go from there. Yeah, and when you look at it, like the twists are all natural and stuff like that, you start to be like, oh, I see how they layered this in. This is brilliant. I love it. So I say it's a go see it in a theater, but if not, definitely check it out when it hits VOD. I really love it, especially if like action and certainly comedy is your cup of tea. If and when you do see it, let me know what you think. I'd be very curious. Comment down below.